And we're back in the garden now with Dabney. Good morning, Dabney.
Good morning. Boy, what a nice forecast. Finally, some good weather. We can get out and get some work done.
Yeah.
But you're right. It is dry. We could use some more rain. Things are starting. In fact, I've had to bring some tomatoes along.
Yeah.
First I've had this whole season. We've had so much rain.
This is the first crop?
Pretty much.
Wow.
So, yeah. And I've got a good number. Of course, as you can see, they're not very large, but they still have great flavor. So I'm reluctant to pull everything up yet to start putting the fall garden in. But
yeah.
Folks that have started planting the fall garden, you do definitely need to water because it is dry.
Okay.
Lawn, same thing. It's the first time I think this whole season we've had to talk about watering because the rains have been regular.
Yeah, we've had above normal rainfall for the season so far. And that's kind of going into the first question here. This is from Dave. He regraded a 20 by 20 section of his yard, and he's wondering what type of seed that he should use to plant this late in the season.
Well, really, this is the season to plant cool weather grasses rather than being late. We're right on schedule. And the cool weather grasses are the fescues and the bluegrasses. And we plant those in the fall because they are cool weather and they have a better opportunity to get established before next summer, and they're green year round. And they're the more popular. Now, we do have summer grasses such as Bermuda, St. Augustine, centipede, but those we'd plant in hot weather. So for him, we want to plant the fescues. Keep in mind, when you're planting on bare ground, with fescue, you want to plant 7 to 8 pounds to 1,000 square feet. Those of us that have been developing our lawn and we need to thicken it up this time of year, then we want to overseed it 3 to 5 pounds. We say overseed, meaning that we're putting seed on top of where we already have grass, not that we're seeding heavier. So 3 to 5 pounds to 1,000 in those areas.
Okay, great. And then any fertilizer, the mix in that too, or just
well, we do the seed. We do what we like to do, the starter fertilizer, particularly if we're starting from scratch. Because in the starter fertilizers have the high middle number. The high middle number on all your fertilizers is what develops root, fruits, and blooms. So that's why when we're planting annuals or perennials, we always say use a plant starter, trees and shrubs. That's usually a 3-10-3, something with a high middle number to help establish a root system. If you're overseeding your lawn and you have a decent stand of grass, then you may just want to go ahead and use your regular fertilizer. But keep in mind, all your regular lawn foods now have no middle number in them.
Okay.
That was put in because the middle number is what is concerned as far as environment for runoff and everything. So only in the starters can we get the middle number.
Okay, good to know. And now another question here. We're kind of moving on to about annuals. Question here from Amy. Are there any annuals that can be planted in the fall that can last through that first frost and maybe even longer
Sure.
than that?
Well, we have the foliage plants such as the flowering carrot, cabbage, and kale. And mustard, red mustard is beautiful. I like that as well. As far as biennials, we have the pansies. And why we say they're biennials because they do fall and spring.
They can last that
Violas
frost
too. Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, there are lots of things. And of course, what you have out there right now is still looking pretty good. What was summer annuals? If they've, we might want to hold off another couple of weeks before we plant these fall things, or because what you're going to be buying is going to be smaller, start interspersing and planting those in between the established plants you have there now, so that in a couple of weeks, as the ones you're planting now get a little bit better established, and we'll pull the others out.
So what do you think about mums? Too early to get those?
You're on schedule. Mum is not one of my favorite plants, only because it comes up it's a perennial, which means it comes back every year, which is great. But from April till now, you have nothing but foliage. Now, they do bloom in the fall, and if you're looking for fall color, they're great. I usually like mums to put in temporarily for the season, because we want them up close where we can see them. Then after they bloom out late November, then I'll pull them up and put them out in the back part of the yard where then I can, I don't have to look at the greenery all summer long.
With mums too, when they do flower, do you want to clip the dead flowers off? Because I had trouble last year. I had this thing that bloomed, and then all of a sudden there was this petrified plant.
Right. When that's what they do. Now, sometimes some of the mums varieties, cushion mums, you can prune those cut those outer spent blooms off, and there are some more blooms on the inside, so you can extend the season a little bit with them. But that's pretty much what they do. That's why I usually keep them in a pot, put them on a stoop or on the patio, and then enjoy them while they're here, and when they finish blooming, then pull them out and throw them in the backyard somewhere out where I don't notice them.
Yeah, see, I like to get them with the jack-o'-lanterns because by the time the jack-o'-lanterns are rotten, then the muns are dead too. So good tips. All right, thanks a lot for the fall tips, Dabney. We'll be back with more tips probably again next week and the following week after that. So Dabney will be around, and I'll also post Dabney's email address on the questions from our Facebook page. That'll be on there in just a little bit. Back with another check of weather. Stay with us.